I said what I said. Calm down, because you're acting really like.
I'm gonna ask how the I wanna act.
You have to calm down, because I still.
I'm gonna ask how the I'm gonna act. It's not about you. Nengi can speak. All you can say, you're not gonna speak, because I don't want you to speak.
Woo! What is going on? Day 2 of the show just started, and there's so much fire, there's so much war, there's so much basketballs going on here and there. Like, guys, this place is so hot. I'm sitting under the AC, but my body is on fire. Dorathy is angry. Wathoni is over there. Like, guys, kilo day. Listen, guys, you definitely need to watch till the end of this video, because tonight, day 2 of the Big Brother Naija lockdown reunion show started off on a very, very high and a very, very hot note. Guys, there's tension everywhere. I can feel the tension over here in my house. Everywhere is just so hot. And today's edition is all about the triangles in the house. And by the time Ebuka mentioned that, I just smiled, because I knew for sure that this title, this theme of triangles, one day will not be enough to sort it out. We'll need like at least 3 days or 4 days, because every single housemate in that house was locked up in one triangle or the other. So you need to watch at the end of this video. So guys, the revelations of tonight, they were actually mind-blowing. Like, I'm still trying to contain all the information that I got tonight. They're just too many. Now, one of them that actually popped my eyes out of its socket was the fact that Ozo actually begged Katrina to help him make Nengi jealous on the last Saturday night party. How many of you actually remember that party?
Very down.
Okay.
Kept on going on how his family, his fans, and everybody was disappointed in him. The way he was just pulling Nengi on how around, that he didn't have time to sell himself and all that. That he needed revenge. He wanted to make Nengi jealous.
Remember that party vividly, guys. Ozo came into the party with other, earlier evicted housemates, to party with the final 5 contestants. So they were on the other side of the party room. There was this very, very long, transparent demarcation that went all the way to the ceiling, to the floor. And so Nengi had seen Ozo, and she was really excited, wanting to talk to Ozo. But what Nengi did not know was that there was a rule that the evicted housemates could not interact with the housemates that were still remaining in the house. And so Nengi burst into tears that night. If you remember that night, guys, it was a very, very emotional evening for Nengi, that all the other housemates in the house, Lekon, V, Dorathy, they were trying to console Nengi, and also knew. But in as much as there was a standing instruction for the evicted housemates not to interact with the top 5 housemates, what we did not know was that Ozo had gone into Katrina's room in the hotel and had broken down, was sad, was complaining to Katrina that his family, his friends, they were all disappointed in him, that the time he was supposed to use to sell himself properly on the show, he was using it to follow Nengi's bum everywhere in the house. And so, coming out of the house, he realized that Nengi did not really have feelings for him, so he wanted to make Nengi jealous, and then he begged Katrina. Although Katrina refused to be a part of Ozo's plot, but then later on she agreed, and that was what happened exactly.
I think I'm up for this. Let's do this. We're all in the car together, and we did it. He didn't talk to Nengi. I danced with him.
Well, you're not supposed to talk to the housemates.
Yeah, but he did.
So we were all out here thinking that Ozo was just trying to follow and play by the rules of multi-choice, not knowing fully well that our very own sweet, soft, honey bunch, lovable Ozo was capable of pettiness. I swear on God, that is the height of pettiness I have ever seen in the history of Big Brother Naija. No caps. Okay guys, listen, I'm trying to recover from all the shocking revelations, so don't blame me if it seems like I'm trying to catch my breath, okay? This information is too much for somebody's daughter to bear. Tonight's conversation on triangles did not actually start with Ozo's own revelation of his conversation with Katrina at the hotel where all the evicted housemates lodged. It actually started with Dorathy explaining her said relationship or friendship with Ozo, and Dorathy took out time to bear out her heart with her full chest. Now, there was something Dorathy said that actually got me thinking. Now, Dorathy was saying that it was Prince that she actually liked, but she did not actually like Ozo in the way people were thinking. That she was disappointed when she got out of the house and then she was seeing people saying things, you know, that wasn't really true. And then I'm like, but babe, you were the one that was actually telling Lucy in the garden that it was actually Brighto that you liked, and you wanted to kiss Brighto. But when you discovered that Brighto was actually playing games with you and being very, very manipulative, not straightforward, always calculating, stuff like that, and was actually indicating interest in Wathoni, you shied away from that kind of reunion from ever happening. So I was asking myself, is Dorathy actually lying? Because guys, everybody that watched the show from week 1, there was no inclination whatsoever that Dorathy liked Prince. No way. In fact, nobody even knew if Dorathy even liked Brighto. It was much later when we were in like week 4, week 5, you know, when Ozo and Nengi had already sealed their bond as a couple in the house. That was when we started hearing all these conversations coming up about, oh, liking Brighto and wanting to kiss Brighto. Where is all this drama coming from, for God's sakes? To be very honest, guys, my favorite part of tonight's reunion show was when Dorathy lashed out at Wathoni.
I'm not paying, but you're going to shut up. So this is not even about how you're reacting. I'm going to react how I want to react. Because this is about me. You can think whatever pleases you. You can actually think whatever pleases you, but this is my and it is what it is.
To be very honest, if it was as if I should carry fan, and go and stand behind Dorathy and be blowing her breeze like you say, yeah, sister, dish it to us. We are your slaves. Step on us. Like, guys, I was super excited. Now, as usual, we know how Ebuka does it. Ebuka will ask a question to Dorathy, and then he will ask other people. So we asked Katrina what she felt about Dorothy's relationship with Ozo. And Katrina said that from her own perspective, while she was inside the house, it was very, very obvious that Dorathy had unrequited love for Ozo, meaning that she was the one that was genuinely in love with Ozo, that she had feelings for Ozo, but Ozo did not have any feelings whatsoever for Dorathy. But Dorathy was not clearly seeing it, and so she felt like Ozo was actually playing a game with her. But for her, that's Katrina now, she also felt that Ozo was playing games with both Nengi and Dorathy, and that did not sit well with her as well. And that was when she revealed how Ozo came to her hotel room to beg her to get back at Nengi for making him jealous and for not appreciating him whilst he was still on the show. And then, as Katrina was talking now, Ebuka went ahead to ask Wathoni, and guys, I don't even think Ebuka even asked Wathoni, but Wathoni just opened her mouth, and started talking. Blah, 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 blah. Yes, you actually loved Ozo because every time you are talking about Ozo, and every time when Ozo brings his case about Nengi to you, you are upset. You don't want to hear about it. You don't want to talk about it. And I'm like, Wathoni, who asked you questions? I mean, guys, that completely infuriated Dorathy, and she started lashing out at Wathoni. I mean, it was a well-deserved lashing. And I love the way Dorathy did that, because it was as if Wathoni just kept on trying to press it on her neck, choke Dorathy with, hey, you were actually in love with Ozo, this and that. And listen, guys, while Wathoni was talking, I felt like Wathoni was also talking out of, our own vengeance that, oh, my relationship with Brighto inside the house was supposed to work, but then along the line, you kind of betrayed me. I feel like Wathoni still has in her mind that episode that happened on that fateful night where she thought that Dorathy actually spent the night in Brighto's bed, not knowing that Dorathy actually went back to her own bed. So guys, to be very honest, there are so many hatchets that are yet to be buried. Now, that was the first triangle that Ebuka actually treated, the triangle between Dorathy, Ozo, and Nengi. But guys, it seems as if it is not over for Nengi tonight, because there was also another triangle or square or trapezium, the one involving Dorathy, Ozo, Nengi, and Prince. And guys, it wasn't funny at all, because to be very honest, I'm going to just tell you guys the way it is right now. Nengi was actually flirting with all the guys to be in all of their good books, and I felt like as at that time she was playing her game the best way she knew how to play her game, and it worked for her. I mean, as at that time the housemates had the choice to nominate their fellow housemates, which was much later anyways in the game. And another thing that I noticed that Nengi was doing as at that time in the house was, anybody that you're in the good books, if it is a guy that wins the head of house for the week, the guy gets to choose a female. So I feel like Nengi was playing around in circles, trying to be in the good books of all the guys in the house, so that when they win the head of house challenge, they would choose her as deputy. I mean, guys, it was very, very glaring that that was the script that Nengi, or the strategy rather, that Nengi was playing for herself. But then it backfired because the viewers had a different opinion. The housemates, they had a different opinion of whatever Nengi was doing. But then unfortunately, Nengi still insisted, still on tonight's episode of the reunion, that she did not feel like she was using any of the housemates. And I love what Ebuka said. Ebuka was like, okay, you made it clear to the guys in the house that you have a serious relationship outside the house, you're not interested in a relationship, but then you are friends with Prince, and Prince also has other friends in the house that he is loyal to, and then you are upset that he is not loyal to you, and then you still also want to be with Ozo. So don't you think that you were using all the guys? And Nengi still insisted that she did not feel like she was using any of the guys. I'm like, okay, I give up. I give up. Guys, Prince said something that was quite interesting, very interesting. Prince mentioned that the reason, and the only reason why he mentioned to the other housemates that he liked Nengi, was because they back then in the house they had this midnight crew thingy where everybody, not everybody anyways, but him and some selected people, Wathoni inclusive, they would stay in the garden and they would just gist, and every single person wanted to know who he fancied in the house. And because they saw him talking to Nengi from time to time, he just told them so that they would get off his back that he liked Nengi. But unfortunately, he discovered that Nengi wanted a lot more from him, and he discovered that Nengi was already, you know, going ahead to be with Kidwaya, going ahead to be with Ozo. Like, Nengi was just all over the place. And he had also heard a rumor in the house, or somebody told him that Nengi and Ozo, they had showered together. Guys, do you remember that rumor? It was nasty.
Also showering together or something like
yeah?
that. And we had a conversation about it. So I think that was before I had the conversation with Katrina.
Prince also revealed that he once had a conversation with Neo in the house, and Neo advised him that, guy, listen, you need tools. I mean, what is that actual name? Yeah, you need tools, you need facilities to chase a girl like Nengi outside the house. Inside the house, if you do not have those tools, you better do whatever you want to do, apply pressure on her and make sure you pull her down. According to Prince, those were Neo's exact words. He said that Neo said that because he felt like Ozo was just slacking, Ozo was just taking his time, Ozo was just laid back, but then he wanted a guy that was man enough to do the work, and that was Prince, in Neo's opinion. So according to Prince, that was the crazy bro code advice that Neo gave to him regarding Nengi. But then Neo had to come and clear his name. He said,
so I remember saying it to several people and out loud that, look, this girl is very fine. So whoever wants to chase this guy fine girl, make sure you have back.
Said no, that he literally gave that advice to everybody in the house, you know, even as at that time he and V, they were not really an item as at that time, they were just playing, touching body here and there. Guys, I swear, even me, I'm exhausted. Another day, I like what Ebuka did. Ebuka asked a very, very straightforward question to Ozo, that do you accept responsibility for the triangle that was existing between yourself, Dorathy, and Nengi? And Ozo still refused to take responsibility. I'm like, this is a problem that these housemates are going to have for a long time. And then Ebuka went ahead to ask Nengi the same question. Do you accept responsibility for the trapezium, for the square, or for the triangle, or whatever that was existing between you and all of these other guys in the house? And Nengi still refused to accept her fault. According to her, she felt like she was just being playful with everybody, so they probably misunderstood and misinterpreted her actions. Anyways, guys, tomorrow's episode promises to be very, very overly dramatic because, hey, there is the altercation between Bbnaija and Prince. And guys, trust me, I am seriously looking forward to seeing that. And tomorrow's episode is going to be the first time that V, okay, maybe not really the first time, but V is going to actually find out how Bbnaija was nursing a crush on Neo. And then Bbnaija also revealed that she said that to make Prince jealous. Tomorrow promises, okay, not tomorrow, I think Monday, yeah? Monday promises to be very, very exciting. So I'm going to end this particular episode of Frankly Speaking with Glory. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Go ahead and drop your thoughts in the comment section below, and I will see you in tomorrow's YouTube live stream on my channel, 3 p.m. or 1500 West African time. Have an amazing night's rest. Bye.